everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So it's a little bit loud right now. The rest of my video isn't this loud, I promise, but my kiddos are in here watching their movies, watching their games, so I'm kind of talking over them a little bit, so I apologize if I'm yelling at you. I'm just yelling just a little bit, you know. So these are the vibes today. We are doing a maroon red vibe. I'm gonna be doing this look right here. So this was inspired by this artist. I'm not sure of her name right now off the top of my head as I'm filming this, but this is the inspiration. I was requested to do this color off of TikTok. She's giving. The skin is giving, guys. I'm going to be doing my eyes as well as my face makeup. Today's video is going to be very short, sweet, and simple. Don't forget to stay tuned until the very end so that way you could see, I'll be doing it up close to my eyes. You can see the true beauty of the blend. And yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right on in. My eyebrows look so nice. I actually filled them in with a pencil today, and I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised. Let me know if you guys want an updated brow tutorial, and I could definitely squeeze that in along with my next video. I would love to do that for you guys. For today's look, I'm going to be taking the Unearthly Cosmetics Hauntingly Glamorous palette. I think that this palette, the colors are just so unique, but I really love this deep dark red burgundy color, which we're doing burgundy today. So this is nice because it has the dark color, then it also has the red to blend it out. I also wanted to use this. This is the Unearthly Cosmetics, their, what are they called? Liquid shadows. So this one's in the shade BlackHole. I'm thinking, I don't know how this formula would layer on top of shadow. I also don't know how it would layer under shadow, but I want to use this as a liner today. I'm going to start by taking this shade right here, which is called Vampira. I'm taking this on a Morphe brush. Just this one came in a set of 4. But I don't know the name of it. But I think it's only like 14 bucks. So I'm going to start laying this down. Kind of, so with my eyes open, right? I want this to come up here a little bit. Not a ton, but just like maybe like this far for this deep shade. And then I'm just gonna flick it. So I like my shadows to go from under my eye and then straight up this way. So I'm gonna flick it with that in mind. Also, after I do my face makeup, you know, I'll be able to smoke it out a little bit more. So I'm just gonna kind of keep a V shape right here. I'm gonna take the red shade, which is called Morticia. I'm gonna take it on a fluffy, but this brush is very, like, it's small. I don't know. God, I'm so terrible at this. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm still gonna be able to get that precise blend. It's not too fluffy to where it's gonna smudge this out more than I want it to be smudged out. So I'm just gonna go over the edges of that first shade. I'll take it in just a little bit further. And then of course when I do under my eyes, I'll connect all of this. So since I'm just taking those 2 shades, this is what it looks like pre-blend. As you can see, when I open my eyes, it's going above my crease. That's what I want. Everything else, I think I'm just going to set with a powder. And I'll probably just take a foundation powder and set the rest of my lid. So let me go through those 2 colors again and really just intensify them. Make sure that they're seamlessly blended and that there's deep and smooth as I want it to be. But I think this looks going to be very simple, very beginner friendly because you're using 2 shades, 2 brushes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same brush that I used to smoke this out, and I'm really just going to clean it off on a towel, receiving blanket, one of those little brush cleaners, really whatever you use to clean off your brushes. And I'm just going to go into this section And I'm gonna blend it till it's like no more. Just like that. So it's really nice and soft. I'm gonna take just a little bit of my P.Louise blank canvas, and then I'll use that same brush. I'm just gonna use one side for the like for the cream, and then the other side for the powder. So I was looking at the picture, and she has a very like blanked out eye. It's like concealer toned. And then I'll set it with my powder on the opposite side of the brush. And then I'll go back in with more of the shade Vampira. And I'm essentially just going to blend this together. Shade Morticia. Just right on this edge. Let's see what this liner does. I've actually never used this shade. I've only swatched it. And I guess I'll just take this right off of the applicator. And I'm going to do a wing, like a half wing. I'm going to blend it into the red. Okay, let's see if we can see the shift when I get really close. So as you see right here, this is the shift. You see it? How it looks red. Can you see it? It's called BlackHole, but I think it's kind of like a coppery, like there's black undertones, but I think it's kind of like a coppery orange color. Okay, let's move on to base makeup. So I had my husband pick out my foundation, and today he chose, he's bougie as fuck, he picked the TooFaced foundation, baby. This one is the Born This Way in the shade Swan. Maybe I'll use it for powder too, though it is wet. I just licked it. So the sponge definitely does work for applying foundation. I just, from the texture of it, I think it would be better for powders. Because I have this other one that looks like this. Yeah, and this one's amazing for powders. So I'm going to try this with powder, but it's already wet, so maybe I'll use a little one. Okay, so now I'm going to take my TooFaced Shade Golden. I'm going to go ahead and just cream contour. I feel like I do this exact same product in the exact same way every single time, so just letting you guys know that I did it, and we'll move on. Okay, so now I'm going to do my blush. I'm going to take the Jaclyn Cosmetics Cream to Powder Blush Stick in the shade Royal Flush, and then I'm going to take the Maybelline Mitchell Blursh in the shade Peach Sugar. So the Royal Flush, I'm going to take higher up by here, and then the Peach Sugar I'll take a little bit lower. Of course, I'm going to do this before I do my concealer, that way I could blend everything together. But I'm not going to go really heavy-handed with this, surprisingly. I am going to also use powder, though. Not surprising, I guess. So this is shade Peach Sugar. As you can see, it's a very beautiful pink. Yeah, wow. Mm-hmm. I feel like blended on the skin, though, they do look the same. I feel like this one's just a little bit hotter, but this, I feel like blended out, they do kind of look the same. So now for concealer, I'm going to take the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. So not the original, not the black tube, but the hydrating one. And I'm going to take the Jaclyn Cosmetics Perfecting Concealer in the shade Ferrous Neutral on top. So because the Jaclyn one does dry down a little bit fast, I'm going to do this in sections. So I'm going to start with my forehead and my chin, and then I'll do under my eyes. So I always like to do my eyes in like a triangle shape. I don't know if that's how I'm supposed to do it for my eye shape, but just, or my eye shape for my face shape, but I just personally really like the way that it looks. And honestly, all makeup is just a personal preference. It's how you like your face to look, the shade that you like it, the intensity, you know, all that stuff. That's what I really like about makeup, is that you could really show your personality through the way that you do your makeup. I'm going to take the Dragun Beauty. This is the translucent setting powder in the shade Pink. So it's supposed to be brightening, right? Because it's a pink powder. So if it's not brightening enough, I'm going to take the Jaclyn face palette, because because I know that that bitch is bright. But I'm going to use this to set my face. So my eyes haven't had time to crease or anything. And I'm just using the same sponge, but the side that I haven't used foundation and stuff on. Oh, yeah. I'm going to take the Jaclyn Brightening Palette, and I'm just going to take it on one of these little poofs. I don't think I've tried to apply it with this yet, and I just want to see what it does. So I just kind of take a mixture of all of them. I always use this shade, but I think I'm going to use this shade and the pink. So the yellow and the pink, because why not? Mix it up. Oh, yeah. I think after I go in with my bronzer, my nose contour, I will go in with that powder again. But it's so smoothing. I do really like this powder. I'm going to take this Phase Zero Blush and Bronzer Trio. This is what it looks like. I really like this bronzer contour shade. So what I'll do is I'll take some of this and apply it to my cheekbones. So now I'm going to take the Jaclyn Cosmetics Rouge Romance Blush Palette. She looks like this. And I'm going to take the shade Ever After. I'm going to keep that higher on my cheeks. And then I'll take the shade Boudoir and keep that kind of more apples of the cheek. So I think I'm going to take the shade Boudoir and Pretty Posh mixed together, just because this one's a little bit lighter. I don't want it to be too dark, because these are super pigmented. Okay, so for my highlighter, I'm going to be taking the Ellie Star X Lele Posh Cosmetics Highlighter Palette, just because I want a very sparkly highlighter. And I think I'm going to take the shade... I'm going to take the shade Coffee and dress it up. So this is just like a very glittery shade. It's literally like a glitter, but it has like shifts in it. So I'm going to use this shade to give me that initial like wetness, that shine. And then on my finger, I'll take the shade Dress It Up. And I just kind of very gently touch it. And then tap it right on top. To give that pop. I don't like sparkly, glittery, colory highlights on my nose. So I like to take the Unearthly Cosmetics Glazed Donut. It's just a very stark, white, bright highlight. And I just do a little exclamation point right on my nose. Wow. Let's get up close to that skin. Flawless. Like... wow. So let's go ahead and zoom back in, finish up the eyes. I do already know which lashes that I'm going to be taking. I'm going to take these Amazon lashes. I labeled these number 4 because this was 1. I had 2, 3, and 4, but I cut those pieces off because they're gone. I'm going to take these ones. Watch this. Look how curly these are. I don't have the name of these though. I just got them off Amazon. They're a pack of 4. Look how curly those are. Like, man. I'm going to take the shade Vampira. And I'm only going to take this as far as the top goes. So literally just in this outer corner. Let me sit down so you guys can actually see me. I'll dust it off. Take shade Morticia. Smudging this out. And then I'll take the fluffy brush that I used for the shade Morticia and dip into that shade again. And just kind of smoke out this outer portion. I'm going to take my white NYX pencil. This is in the shade Milk. And that really just helps to open up the eye, especially with like a red color, because I don't want my under eyes to look red. I want them to look very bright and open. So this is what that looks like. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop these lashes on. Again, I got these off Amazon. They have really good lashes. Like, just go type in lashes and look through them. I always like to look at the, when I'm looking at lashes on Amazon, I always like to look at the reviews and go through the pictures and kind of try to figure out which style that they have that they're demoing. And that's how I decide. which lashes. So let me go ahead and finish everything up, throw on my lippy, and we can come back and see the completed look. Okay, so I just went ahead and I finished off the rest of my makeup. If you hear the cocomelon, we are just gonna ignore that. For my lip combo, I love how deep red this is. I went in with the Nabi lip pencil in the shade Current. You could buy a set of 50 of these for like 20 bucks on Amazon, and they're huge and will last forever. So if you're always wondering like why I'm always going with the Nabi lip pencils, it's because they're huge and I have a shit ton of them. But yeah, so this is the shade Current, and then I went in with the Hank & Henry Satin Matte Lipstick in the shade L.O.V.E. I think this is one of my favorites. It's the shortest of them all, so I think the red's the one I use the most out of all of these. But yeah, I think that this actually came together really, really nice. Sorry, my house is really loud right now because it's super late. I never filmed this late. What do we think? I'll give you guys a nice up close of my face because my face looks good. I look so soft and smooth and buttery. It's not even funny. That is going to complete today's video, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like me and if you like my content. And without further ado, we're going to go right on ahead. Roll the clip.